Here's how to make a thumbnail for YouTube on iPhone and Android that actually gets clicked. We're gonna go through the process step by step using our top free YouTube thumbnail maker app right now so that you can create a click-worthy thumbnail quickly and easily. So I'm gonna be taking you through using the free version of Canva, but the process I'm following you can follow in most other tools or apps like Adobe Express or even Snapper. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be using for inspiration for what we're gonna create here today in Canva. We're gonna create something very similar to this, which is a thumbnail from our YouTube channel, which is actually done really well. So I'm over here now in Canva. This is what you'll see when you first open up the app. And you'll see that at the top here, there is a bunch of different options with different things we can create. I'm gonna come over here to social media, and I'm gonna scroll down until we find YouTube. Here we go, YouTube thumbnails. Now we can just press see all on this, and this is gonna give us here lots of different templates and things that we can use and we can customize up. So these are a great starting point. So if you see something in here that you like the look of, then we can pick that and we can make it yours from there. It is worth noting at this point that you can see that some of them here on the screen do have Pro written down in the bottom right-hand corner of them. For anything that is marked as Pro, you will need to be on one of the paid plans for Canva. But obviously you can see there's a lot here that aren't marked as Pro that we can use totally for free. Now let's say, for instance here, we like the look of this one. We just select it. That's gonna go ahead and open up, and then we can get to customizing this up. But I'm gonna go back now. I'm gonna create something totally from scratch. So I'm gonna press the three little lines in the top left corner, and we're going to choose home. And so we're back on the YouTube thumbnail area here now, and I'm gonna choose here, create blank. Once again, it's prompting us here if we wanna pick one of these templates. I'm just gonna swipe this down so that we've just got our blank area here. So this white rectangle here in the middle of the screen, this is our work area. This is where we can build out our thumbnail image. Down the bottom here, we've got a bunch of tools and things which are going to allow us to create our thumbnail image. And you'll see that these change depending on what it is we're doing at that time. But the first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna come across down the bottom here to background, and we're going to pick either a background image. If there's something here you want to use, you could upload your own at this point as well. But for this one here, I'm just going to choose a solid color. So I'm going to come up the top here and I'm going to choose black. And then I want to pull this menu bar down, and we can see that we've now got a plain black background. Next up, I want to go ahead and add in our text. So I want to swipe across the bottom here until we've got text down the bottom. And I'm just going to choose here, add a text box. Now in here, we can customize this up. So I'm going to select the text in here and I'm going to enter our text. And I'm going to build this out one word at a time. So we've got the first one here, which is best. We can see that this is absolutely tiny here on the screen. So we want to come down here to font size. We can make that bigger, maybe something like this for now. We can then choose our font. So you can see there's lots of different ones here that we can choose from. I'm going to pick Oswald, which is our Primal video font, and I'm going to pick Oswald bold. Now in here we can obviously change color, we can change the format, we can change the spacing. Maybe I'll make the letters a little bit closer together, something like this. And let's just pick this text box up and let's move it over to the side here for now. Now for our next word, we don't need to start again from scratch. With our text box selected there is a little button here for duplicate. So you can see now we've got two versions of this. And let's change up the second line. Okay, so we've got best AI voice, and maybe we will duplicate this one more time and have our final word here. Best AI voice generator. Okay, very basic so far. Now for our branding, what we'd normally do, and to help these stand out amongst the background, is I would add a solid colored rectangle behind some of the text. So I want to come down here to elements, and we're going to grab a shape. You can see there's again lots of different ones that we can use from. I'm just going to pick a square in this case. Now we do have the ability to type into the square, but all we want to do here is dit. So you can see we've got our box there. We're going to change the color on it. Let's make it our Primal video blue. And then I'm going to resize and reposition this so it is behind our text. So something like that. Now, because we're doing this on a phone, we can find that it gets a little fiddly if we're trying to grab something to pick up and move it around. So what we want to do is select something and then come down the bottom here until we find layers. And then we can see all the different layers or elements that we have in here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to select the blue background here, and that way I can duplicate it without trying to tap on it. So now that we've duplicated it, I can pick that up. Let's move it down here on top of our generator text. We can close out of our menu options down here. Let's make this red, maybe something like that. Let's stretch this out and we can close our color panel here now. Now, obviously we want to see the text behind that red box. So again, we want to come down here, we want to choose layers and we want to grab this layer with those little dots on the side and we want to move it down below the text. All right, so it's not perfect yet, but it's starting to come along. Now, obviously we can pinch to zoom on this preview as well if we want to zoom in to get more granular. Let's try and select that red text box there. Again, you see it's very fiddly. It's not selecting what I want. Okay, we got it there. Again, we could have come back down here to our layers and selected the layer that way. And let's just resize it here to where we want it. And maybe we will further refine this blue box a little bit. Now, obviously we'll reposition these things once we get all of our elements in and scale them up and really dial everything in. But next up, I want to bring in an image of me. So I'm going to come down here to camera. Now in here, you go ahead and find a picture. I have one here where the background has already been removed. I'm going to choose add to page and we now have that image in there. So I'm going to move this across. We're going to scale it up to about where we want it. Maybe something like this for right now. Now, if you are bringing in an image and it does have a background on it and you don't have a cutout version like I do, there is a background removal feature in here. You can select your image, you can come down to effects, and then in here, you've got background removal. Now, this is a pro feature. So it says here, you need to be on Canva Pro to use this feature. There is a trial. You can see we can try it for 14 days if you want to quickly remove something, or you also have the ability in lots of different photo apps now to automatically remove the background for you too. So in this case, I can open up the photo here in Apple Photos and I can press and hold on me and we can remove the background that way too. Obviously it's already done in this case, but then we're able to bring that image into Canva. Okay, so right now this is looking very dark. So let's bring in some different color elements in the background to make this pop or make it stand out a bit more. So I'm gonna come down the bottom here to elements. Now in here, we can just start searching up the top, or you can see the different types of things that are in here. Shapes, graphics, there is an AI image generator, stickers, photos, videos. There's a bunch of stuff again that you can use in here for free. And obviously there's some paid or pro options too. But I'm gonna search here for blur circle. Okay, this is the kind of thing that we are looking for here. And maybe something like this one. And let's scale this up. And actually what we'll do is while we've got this selected, let's come over here to the layers and let's drop this down below the picture of me. So pick that layer up, let's drop it down. Okay, that's looking pretty good already. Maybe we'll scale it up a little bit more and maybe move it across a bit. Okay, that's already looking pretty good. We could even select that background there. We could then come back to elements and maybe there's one here that's a different color, or we could change the color of it too. Now we'll see here in this case that most of the options here are marked as pro for this specific search. So we can just keep looking until we find something for free. I'm gonna try to use just free ones in this video for you. But maybe we could also come back up here and change our search and let's just choose blur. So then we could use something like this graphic. We could scale this up. Let's move it over this side a little bit. Again, we'll want to come down here to our layers and we want to move this one down. Let's put it right down just above our background and let's move it a little bit. We can also resize this too if we need to. Maybe make it a bit bigger. Okay, something like that could work. So we can see now already this is really starting to take shape. Again, I'm not happy with the location, everything of the text yet, but we'll dial that in once I've got some more graphic elements in. So let's come back down here to elements and let's come back to all. Let's clear out our search. Let's just pick a shape here with rounded corners. So let's go this one here and let's deselect it and then select it. And we can change the color to white. Okay, now let's pick this up. Let's move it over to the side here. Maybe we'll make it a little bit smaller. We can zoom in here to get a little bit more precise. And we can also rotate this with that little rotate button there at the bottom. We'll rotate it like this. And now let's go ahead and duplicate this. So put one on this side of me, one on the other side. Let's pick that up and move it across. And let's rotate it the other way, something like this. Let's zoom back out and then we'll find some more little graphics or icons we can put in there that are going to be related to this video. So AI voice generator, something to do with voice or sound. We could then choose elements again And I'm just gonna search here for audio. So we've got graphics, I'm gonna choose see all. All right, so I've got some graphics on here already that I think will fit. I'm gonna pick this first one here and let's scale this down. Also want to zoom in, so again, we can be more precise with this. Let's move it to around here and let's rotate it to try and match the rotation of the background. Okay, something like this. And let's go ahead and find another graphic. We've still got our audio search there. Maybe this one here. So for this one here, we're gonna crop it down a little bit. We wanna make sure it's selected. And then down the bottom here, we wanna choose crop. And then we can just select the area here that we want to use. So I'm gonna crop it to about this area and hit done. And that's removed that other section for us. And now let's rotate it to try and make it match the rotation of the background, something like this, adjust the position a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So if we zoom out now, we've got a couple of different graphics and things on there. Now, before we add any more graphics or elements, I do want to get this text sorted. I'm thinking maybe the text could be a little bit bigger now. So I'm going to select the first one here. I'm going to choose font size. So you can see it's currently at 92. Let's go a bit bigger. Okay, maybe 112 for this one. Let's zoom in a bit here. Let's grab our AI voice text. Now this again is separate from our background, so we'll need to adjust the background afterwards. But I'm going to choose font size. Let's make this one a bit bigger as well. Let's go the same, 112. Let's move this to where we want it. And then down the bottom here, we again need to select that layer. So we want to come across to layers. We're going to find our blue background, which is this one. And now that we've selected it here, it's easier to adjust. And let's just reposition this generator text. Maybe we'll rotate it a little bit as well, something like this. And maybe we'll move it over a bit. Let's select that red background on the layers panel again. We can rotate that too. And now let's reposition it. Let's zoom out to see what that looks like. Okay, maybe the generator's on too much of an angle. Let's dial that back a little bit, maybe something like that. Let's select our text. Let's get that to match. Okay, I think that's looking better. Now, if we look really closely, we can see here where it says AI, we're seeing that yellow blur actually come over the box there. And we can see what's happening down here in our layers. We've got that yellow blur on top of our text layers. So I'm just gonna grab that yellow orange blur and I'm gonna bring it down below those boxes. So down here. Okay, let's close out of this. Let's zoom out, take a look. Starting to take shape. Maybe we'll move the word generator and its red box up a little bit. Now we can also add a little bit of extra polish on here as well. And for us with our thumbnail images, we're normally adding some background patterns or dots. So let's search for, I don't know, let's try dots and let's see what comes up. Okay, yeah, these kinds of things here. Let's go see all. Lots and lots of random dots. What I'm thinking is one of these first ones, this one here could work. So I'm gonna scale it up. I'm gonna rotate it. I'm gonna move it down here and I'm going to lower the opacity on it. So I'm gonna fade it out. Let's come across here to transparency and let's drop it from 100. You see that as we drop this down, it's fading away there. So maybe something like this, around 40. I want to change the layer position here. So I'm going to choose layer and I want to make sure that the dots here aren't going on top of our text. So we can see we've got this layer here. I'm going to pick that up and let's move it down below our blue and red boxes so that it goes behind those. And then what I want to do here is duplicate that. So we're going to hit duplicate and let's just move it across a little bit here so that we're able to keep this pattern going. And I want to again move this one here behind the text, but also behind the image of me. So I'm going to choose layers. I'm going to grab that layer and let's move it down to about here. Okay, so that way it becomes part of the background. And it's just added a little bit of extra polish there for it. So that's looking pretty good now. And we could obviously keep going and adding different elements and things to add another level of polish, but I'm pretty happy with where this is at. So from here, we want to save this out. So in the top right-hand corner, we've got our share button there. We then want to choose download. Now, based on us picking a YouTube thumbnail preset, this should all be good to go, but we can customize this up if you'd like to. So it's suggesting here PNG file, but you've got other options like JPEG there if you'd like to as well. But PNG will be fine for a YouTube thumbnail. The size and everything is correct, and we can just choose download, and that's going to save that to our phone. So we can hit save image here, and that's now saved in our camera roll. So what we need to do now is to add that to our YouTube video. So I'm gonna open up the YT Studio app. I'm then gonna go down to content. We'd then pick the video that we want to change the thumbnail on. I'm just going to pick this top video here. We've then got an edit button up the top. We're going to press on that. And then we get a preview here of the thumbnail image that's already uploaded. So if we want to edit that, we can just press the little edit button there in the top left corner, and we can upload a new thumbnail from here. So I can press change down the bottom, and I can pick our new photo here. Then all we need to do is hit select in the top right-hand corner, and that's going to save that new thumbnail image to our video. Now that you've got your thumbnail images sorted, if you want to learn how to level up your filming on your iPhone or Android, check out the videos linked on screen. As always, we've got a bunch of other resources down in the description box to help you even further, and I will see you in the next video.